Father Time viewer, Judy Shields here. I am so over the moon with excitement to introduce who we have today. He's a director, a writer, and a veteran actor who's been over in, 300 movies. It's Daniel Roebuck. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
I'm so blessed and happy to be here. Thank you, Judy. I'm doing great.
You look great. Oh, we're here to talk about Daniel's new upcoming movie. It's called The Hail Mary. Oh, we'll get into that in a minute when I catch my breath. It premieres tomorrow in Pennsylvania. And is it pronounced Lehigh?
Lehigh Valley, the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania, and then it'll play around the country the following weekend.
February 27th. Oh my gosh. Oh, I wish I could just get on a plane and fly to be there at the premiere. It's got to be so exciting. You're going to have special guests there. Tell us a little bit about the premiere first.
Yeah, the premiere is going to be great because it's in the town we shot the movie, which is my hometown of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Um, we're playing at a theater, two theaters, and in the middle of it, we've actually turned my high school into a 5.1 surround sound theater, so people can go see the movie in and the high school's portrayed in the movie because in the movie our fictitious team plays the Bethlehem Catholic Golden Hawks. So it's going to be a very unique homecoming experience. And we're bringing Marcia Dietlein in, who's the fabulous actress who plays Sister Kathleen, and Dwayne Whitaker and Tim Goodwin and Brett Anthony and Milda Daisies and all the local guys, these wonderful young actors in the movie. So we're going to have a lot of them there. It's going to be a heck of a weekend.
Oh my goodness. See? And you're going to have a red carpet and everything?
We're going to have a green carpet.
Oh, green.
We've 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 got we've turned the carpet into a football field, a football. It's we thought we should walk the green carpet, not the red carpet.
Exactly. Oh, I wish I could get on a plane. You're gonna have to share some pictures with us so we could put
I
it in an article for you.
thank you. We certainly will.
We'd
Thank you,
love to
Judy.
do that. So, with that said, when did you first think of this amazing script that you wrote? Unbelievable.
It's so it started as a thought probably eight years ago. And then I really worked it around in my brain. I write like that. I write backwards. I think and think and think and think and think, and then I write it all at once. But I figured out every obstacle. Someone asked lately, by the way, and I think this is interesting. I don't know if I stole this or if I came up with it. They're like, what is writing? And to me, writing is creating a character you love and then doing everything you can to ruin their day because it's all about the obstacles you put in front of the characters. So I started thinking about how do I say thank you to the nuns who helped raise me? And this movie kind of was born out of that.
Yeah, because I was reading that, can't give away too much, folks, but at the credits it shows some actual pictures, and I love when directors do that. There's nothing more than seeing, pictures that relate to that, to see you in a classroom and they point to it being you. How amazing was all that coming?
Yeah, pretty great. That so Sister Kathleen was a we could talk about her. She was
Okay.
she was the magical first grade teacher that I had who one day, Judy, imagine this. So this you got to remember this is 1969 when I was in first grade.
Okay.
So you didn't know how to read or write. Yet somehow I came into school one morning with a pile of papers and I said, "Sister, I wrote a play." And instead of saying what I would have said, which is, you don't even know how to spell your name. How could you have written a play? Sit down. And I think a lot of other people might have done that. Sister Kathleen said, "Oh, you wrote a play. Well, let's do your play. Let's put it on." So she taught me that I needed to cast it and I needed to rehearse it, and then we performed it. And in one magical moment, she turned me from a guy who thinks to a guy who creates, and it's never stopped. It's never stopped.
So, folks, there goes all my interview questions. I mean, he was like blessed to learn to be a director, an actor, a writer from being blessed right then and there.
Right then and there to have, and the importance of teachers who are really there to guide your spirit, not just your mind, but your spirit. And that's why this movie was necessary. And it was telling tales of gratitude were necessary because the Sisters of St. Joseph and all the nuns, everybody has a story. Ah, the nuns hit me. I
Yes.
always say, hit you? What did you do? You know, my nuns made me a director. You know, like, because I was writing plays, I wasn't, I wasn't graffitiing the walls. So I
Yeah.
always think, what did you do that you got hit? Because
Yeah.
I
Right.
never, I got hit by Mrs. Kameni was the first one to hit me with a ruler, but never a nun, interestingly.
Now that's a good story. And so someone who went to Catholic school, it's like they hit you, what, you know?
Well, I listen, when you look at that, when you really look at that picture that you see in the movie, you see every boy is wearing a white shirt and a long tie, and I am somehow wearing a purple shirt and a bow tie. And I can just imagine, funny how good God is. One of the actresses who ended up playing one of the nuns in the movie, Alice Free, was my student teacher when she was, right out of college, and she got me in fifth grade. And she said, I've wanted to ask you a question for years. She goes, were you ever diagnosed with ADHD? And I said, no, but that would answer a lot of questions. And she goes, because I wanted to put a pencil through your head when you were in fifth grade. So I can just imagine the craziness that I brought to these poor nuns. And they all tolerated it. They all tolerated it and
Oh my
loved me and
God.
supported me.
So this is like payback for all of that you did back then, bringing this
Yeah,
amazing
for
movie.
right. We call this, there's a word for this. It's called penance.
I know.
I'm trying to do it on earth so that I reduce what's coming in the future.
You want those pearly gates open, don't you?
It's so funny. A nun told us in fifth grade, fourth grade, that if you said a very specific verse during transubstantiation in the mass, if you said this very specific word, you get someone out of purgatory. So you get two chances. You can do it during the wine and the bread. So every mass since then, I've been working diligently to pull two people out, and I hope that the nuns are still teaching people this so that I can get out of purgatory when it's my turn.
Boy, you've got a brain, don't you, like a sponge?
Yeah, I remember everything. My Lord and my God.
That's right. So, well, like I've read where you've said or heard interviews that you've done that it's based on being a Catholic. You don't have to be Catholic to see this movie. I mean, it
Yeah.
it it moves you. I don't care if you don't believe in God, whatever, folks. This movie will guide you somewhere. It
Thank you
will.
so much for that.
It will.
Oh,
It's a
thank you for saying
beautiful,
that.
inspirational movie. It will. And your character, how do you get into character that you did so make it seem so realistic? How do you do that?
I don't know. That's a magical gift God gave me. I don't know. Because that in the time frame of 1.5 weeks, I went from Grandpa Munster
Yes.
to the character I play, Grease Dritus in Star Wars, who's a 4 foot tall little Lateron with four arms, to that character, Jake. And that was 1, 2, 3, all within maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks. I performed each role. And I look and I say, I don't know how I don't know. A lot of people make a lot of money teaching acting. I honestly don't know that you could teach acting. I think God gives you a gift or you don't. I could teach you how to hone your gift. Certainly, as a director, I could teach you how to listen more so that you speak more believably. But I don't know that you can teach acting. I don't know. I remember Chaz Keller, a buddy of mine from grade school, when I used to do impressions. And he said, how do you do that? How do you do all those voices? And I remember in third grade, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I
Well,
just
it's
do.
paid off.
It's
So,
paid off.
how did you come up with the title?
Well, okay, great story. So, you know what the initial title of the movie was?
No.
It was I like that the titles mean two things. The initial title of the movie was Take a Knee, also in reference to it's got a football meaning, but it also means you take a knee, you know,
Right. Yeah.
to God above.
Yes.
And then it became political.
Oh,
And I knew that I couldn't use that title because then it represented something. I don't want to get into political
yeah,
discussion in the first place and second place.
yeah,
If you want to really know my heart, I thought it was disrespectful and awful of those people to
yes,
choose that.
yeah,
So I couldn't name the movie that. And then I started thinking about Jake Bauer and I started realizing that the Hail Mary will mean two things. People think it means the last play of the game, but it really is. In the poster where it says, when you have nothing else to lose, it's not the game, it's the guy, it's the man. And he's at the end. Like, where's he going to go? He has nowhere to go but down. So this nun finds him and decides she can help elevate him. And, there's a thing in his past that's keeping him from moving forward. And I think if people see the movie, and I hope they do, they'll see how, the sister offers love and forgiveness and support despite what's happened in the past.
yeah. It's drama. Bring your Kleenex. You can use your Kleenex to wipe the tears because you're laughing. It's a comedy as well, and that's what's great about this movie.
I hope and pray that my way of doing this makes the most sense. See, like, if you're going to just preach to people, well, we're already getting that. We're getting Hollywood is preaching the opposite of what I'm preaching to everyone. They're, and
Yes.
they're making it so obviously clear that's what they're doing. And I feel that if I want you to just open your brain to a godly relationship, instead of telling you that, let me make you laugh. Let me make you cry. And let me make you think, why is this character different? What has changed in him or through him? And then I lead you to a story of faith. But you're laughing first, crying second, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there's all those moments in there, and we love that too. And a movie with faith, and I love watching them. I love bringing them out to everyone's attention. I can't wait to spread this about this movie.
Thank you.
And another question is, you mentioned all these different casts: Timothy Goodwin, Brett Anthony, and Joe Estevez. When you were doing the casting and when you were writing, when you write like that and write their characters, did you have these actors in mind?
Oh, very much so. Very much
Okay.
so. That's one of the great things that I'm lucky about is I know so many actors,
Yes.
and I know what they can do. By the way, the one exception to that is Brett. I actually wrote that part for another guy, and he
Oh,
said, "Oh, good. So I'm going to do the movie. Yeah, I'll come do it. Like it's 3 or 4 days." I was like, "No, it's the fourth lead of the movie. What are you talking about? You're there the whole time." Oh, I couldn't be. So Brett came. I met Brett Anthony, terrific. We did a movie called The Making of Three's Company, and he played John Ritter. And
oh,
he was so great in that movie. And he is such a great, huge-hearted person that and he's a handsome kid. And I was like, you gotta turn you a little wacky. So we came up with like that beard and he had to sport that look for a month. And I think he's terrific. Tim Goodwin, I've known for many years. He starred in our other movies. Dwayne Whitaker from Pulp Fiction. He and I met as extras on General Hospital in
wow.
1984, the
Oh, wow.
year right after I got to Hollywood. He's really one of my oldest friends. Joe Estevez, I've known for 35 years.
Wow. Aw.
Yeah, just and then but let's say Marcia Dietlein is specifically my muse. Like
Oh,
she's so good in the movie,
yeah.
and I feel terrible because if it was any other kind of movie, they'd give her an Oscar. Her performance, the
Yes.
depth of her performance, the ability to go from funny to serious to funny to
Hmm.
she's so good in it. And I'm so proud of what she did. I've always known she was a great actress, but she really proved herself in this movie.
Oh, realistic. As the two of you that made the movie, you had a lot of cast, but you two together. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a buddy comedy this is a very unique buddy comedy. Nobody,
Mhm.
you know, what's what's funny about a nun and a janitor? Well, they're on different ends of the spectrum, you get some sparks flying, and it's all just, I love he says, why are you doing this? Like she's giving him a job, and she goes, do I need a reason, to be nice to you? She goes, I wish we lived in a world where people weren't so cynical. Like he thinks she's up to something. Well, it turns out, by her own word, she has to go to confession constantly. She might be a little bit of a fibber every now and again to get someone to God.
Yeah, I just love the character you wrote for her. It's
Thank you.
brilliant, brilliant. Let's talk about like the young cast. Were those actors real football players? Oh my gosh, it was that whole thing. And I noticed you had some young men with Down syndrome. I love that you do that. It's just touches my heart. You've been in a few other movies with that. Talk about that.
Yeah, so we wanted that school to be as realistic as possible. The young men, and there's another little surprise there.
Yeah.
Um, they were all from the area of the Lehigh Valley. I've got actually my casting directors in the room here with me, Beth Klausnitzer.
Yay, Beth.
Um, yeah, no.
You're great.
So there you go. Great.
We're
So
great.
we went out to kids. The last thing I want when it comes to kids, probably say this too much, and I'm gonna get hell for it eventually. But I don't want Broadway. I don't want the Broadway kid. I don't want the hi, I'm Gavroche. I don't want that. I want human beings. So we found Beth. We saw a lot of kids, but these were. We really made the movie. If you wanted to be in it, I'd find a place for you, one of these boys. But we took 25 mostly theater kids, and we got this kid named Liam Nixon.
Okay.
He and Pat Dundon and Kevin, what's Kevin's name?
Robinson.
Kevin Robinson, and Mark Nabrowski helped with the kicking. We sent these kids to 5 weeks of football training,
Oh,
where and it didn't scare me that they were theater kids, because I was always going to film the football like Bob Fosse films dances. He's a very influential director to me. I love his work. And I knew that I was going to cut often in the plays. So we just taught these theater kids, we choreographed them with 10 plays, taught them defense and offense of the same plays. And then we just, move those 10 plays around so no one would know they were looking at the same play from a different side. And, so everyone knew where they're going to be at every moment of every play. And I just think they did a great job. Beyond that, um, they're real kids. Like they just seem like real human beings, these kids.
it was. I thought for sure that he pulled a whole real team. Bravo to
Oh,
you and Beth. Bravo.
yeah, there you go, Beth. Yeah, well, you're not. Well, the thing is, you can't really. No one's going to let you use their high school team,
Yeah.
because if you hurt them while you're making a
Sure.
movie, then you're on the hook for that, ruining that kid's career to whatever extent.
Yeah.
Having it, Kevin Culligan. It's so funny. The guy who was, he's only a little older than I am, but he was a team manager even when we were in high school. He came in. I realized one night, my God, what if we do hurt one of these kids? My God.
Oh,
So I asked Kevin, would you be the team manager of the football team? So he made sure they were all padded right,
yeah.
helmeted right. We made sure they couldn't be hurt. Like you could have knocked any one of those kids down, and hopefully nothing would have happened to them. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think we sent one kid to the hospital once, and he was back working the next day.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's very realistic, and I can't wait to spread the word, and everyone's
Thank
gonna
you.
love it because it's just so realistic, and we will love that in movies.
Thank you. Yeah, you gotta. I hope that the movies we make, the next one we're making here in the Valley is called Men of Granite, and it's about four grumpy old men who do the honor guard at a local memorial cemetery, and this young jerk kid who's a judge adjudicates into their presence because he's flipped a car over in the veteran cemetery. So they make him do community service, and how they interact at odds at first, but then they all help the kid and the kid helps all of them. I think it's going to be a very powerful movie. And we got Joe Estevez is going to be in it. And,
Oh.
yeah, if you like faith movies, my catch is, and I'm so excited about it, is Ted Neely, who is played Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, is going to play a part. It's going to be great.
Wow, there's just so much more to come.
So much more to come, and so hopefully so many more stories about fatherhood and mentorship and just following a faith in God can lead you to your wildest dreams. That certainly has been true for me.
Yes, we thank you for that. Um, Daniel, what do you want the audience to take away from the movie?
Hey man, laugh. I would love for you to laugh. I'd love for you to cry, and I'd love for you to just think that person that disappoints you and lets you down again and again may have a struggle that is unknown to you. So, instead of judging, try to help find out what that struggle is. And if you can help them, help them.
Very well said. Very well said. Also, we want to talk about a channel of peace.
Oh, yes.
That's what you and your wife Tammy founded. Talk about that.
Well, we found it. Look, it's so hard to get movies made, right?
Yes.
And I thought, here's an idea. Let's get movies made through a not-for-profit. And it is a true not-for-profit. I don't know that I could sustain this forever, but up to this point, I've taken no salary to write, produce, direct, star. My wife edits for free. She does 10,000 other things for free.
Wow.
My daughter also worked for free. My son worked for free. Um, but, we put all the money on the screen. And so we work through donations. And, people know that they're getting the stories are always going to be celebrating the human condition and overcoming obstacles in a godly from a godly perspective, but never from a preachy perspective. I don't want to preach to anybody. I'll leave that to the ministers. I want the people who are driving by the church on Sunday morning. I want them to come to our movies and love them, and hopefully they do. They should. And one other thing that's so important to me is that the movies, although this one's through the lens of a Catholic all boys school, the last one was through a Protestant lens. People of any faith will understand this faith journey. I don't care if you're Muslim or Mormon, Protestant, Catholic, I don't, Jewish, doesn't matter. You're going to understand that you need a belief in a higher power to move forward in life.
Yeah.
You have to have understand that you have that support behind you. So, we're trying to do that with a channel of peace, but people could go to achannelofpeace.org, achannelofpeace.org, and they can help us. They can donate into making the movies, and we're going to continue making great movies through this not-for-profit.
And so that's how our viewers can find things about the movie, find out about the movie and yourself.
And myself, and they can follow on Mr. Daniel Roebuck on Instagram, Daniel Roebuck on Facebook, a channel of peace on Facebook. Yeah, there's a lot of information out there. Hopefully they can find it. And the movie opens February 27th around the country and, pockets of the country. And we're just trying to get as much word out. And then after that, it'll do what movies do now. It'll live on streaming. And we're excited about that. We're excited that the movie exists forever now. Now that we put it out, it's out forever.
Well, we want you here at the Hollywood Times to keep in touch so we can let people know when it's coming out to stream. We want you to go see it because there's nothing like seeing a movie in the theater. So it's great these type of movies are coming out there more for us to go see and enjoy. So
Thank you,
we'll put
Judy.
that up there in this article, and this goes up on our YouTube channel, the Hollywood Times Official. There's so much to talk about that movie, and I don't want to give things away, but folks, you are going to learn so many lessons. I'm telling you, it's going to change however you feel that day. It's going to change you one way or
No,
another.
thank you, Judy. This is very sweet to hear. A director operates in the vacuum of his own head for so long. And then, you birth the thing, and then it's just like having a kid where you're like, geez, I hope people like my kid. And the kids never understand. If people don't like them, you're like, that's a reflection of me. If you're an idiot, they're going to think I'm a bad parent. Same with movies. I want people to like the movies.
Yeah.
And hopefully this one entertains them.
It's definitely it deserves an Oscar. We have to get Oscars for the faith-based movies, that's for sure. If there's not a
Thank you.
category for it, it needs it.
Thank you, Judy. God
Also,
bless you.
I wanted to say I wish you a happy early birthday. I know your birthday's coming up in a few
It
weeks.
is. It is. I don't know. Somehow I'm getting older, yet I feel younger and younger every
No,
day.
you look good.
Thank you.
You look really good. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us here at the Holiday Times, and I
All
can't
right.
wait to get this out there so my viewers and everyone else can see it and
All
watch
right.
your movie.
Thank you, Judy. I'm so blessed to be having this conversation, and thank you to your viewers, and thank you for supporting people like yourself who are out here telling the stories of the people telling the stories. Thank you.
You're welcome.